descend to that, and then I will clear after you start your descent, I'll clear the next person behind you down one more altitude block.
And again, we're descending at the back of the boat, and we're climbing at the front of the boat. So then once you get your signals Charlie and you do your commencement, you'll come around to your initial point, and you will be at 350 knots, wing swept, hook down. Yes? So at initial 3 miles, I will tell you to spin it, at which point you will climb from 800 feet to what altitude?
1,200.
Bondo.
1,200.
1,200 feet, yeah.
1,200 feet, and you'll immediately left hand, not a hard turn, but you're going to left hand turn, and you're going to hold a 3 nautical mile DME. It's going to be looking like something like 11 units AOA, something like that. Probably a 3G turn. And you're going to just walk the dog around the circle, come back to initial point. Once you get to 270 degrees through that turn, so back to the aft of the boat, then go ahead and descend back to 800 feet so that you can line yourself up on initial point. If you want to dog leg the back part of that out a little bit, that's fine, but I don't want to see people coming back in at like 7 miles or something crazy. If you want to push it out to 4 so you have time to line up, I'm not going to argue about that, but this should essentially be a circle, not some weird oval shape. You'll be hook up for your first break so that we can see you do the bolter pattern, and then you'll, once you have safely boltered, turn back to BRC, and then when cleared downwind, turn downwind, hook down, and give me 1 safe trap. So if you get less, if you get, as long as you are a no grade or better, technical passing as far as safety is concerned, that's not going to be a trap.
Roger.
Safety here, not second. Obviously, I would love to see okays and pairs.
Are you gonna call it when we can exit out?
Just assume that you passed unless I tell you to go back out.
Okay.
And we'll go over this document really quickly so you can see what I'm seeing. So on the plat cam, this is our plat cam here. We've got red, orange, and green boxes here. Everybody starts with 4 points, right? The deviation is -1 point off of that. So if you're in the green box, right, and you'll be coming around from the right here, and I'll probably tell you to call the ball before you fly wings level. But you're be in the green box. I'll tell you to call the ball. You call the ball, great. You fail to call the ball, that's a point. You deviate from the green box to the orange box more than 3 times, that's a point. You land left or right of center line, which is both mains, left or right of center line, that's a point. 1 wire is a point. So your actual flying, you get three gimmies essentially of being a little bit too wide, a little bit whatever, right? And as long as you catch a 2 wire or better, don't landed left, landed right, something grossly unsafe, fail to call the ball call, something like that, then it should be pretty easy to get 3 or 4 points. Any questions on this? Okay. Thumper, are you?
Can someone please tell about, I mean, I don't know how to do it. Can someone show about how to do it with SRS? Just so someone with power can do it.
How to do what?
Set the transponder. He's never done it before.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out where to do that.
Oh.
Are you squawking vortexes or squawking the flight number?
Yeah.
Or which one?
You're going to be squawking flight number. Some of you won't be able to put your modexes in. Well, actually, you don't have any eights, so you could squawk your modex. It would be much easier if you just squawked your flight number, because that automatically changes my SRS settings a lot and lot ATC to show you as your proper victory name. Otherwise, you just show up as Dodge or Enfield or whatever. So if you squawk correctly, it makes my job much easier. You make my job easier, I'll make your job easier.
So here's SRS here, right?
Yes.
So we're going to want to go to settings. We're going to want to go down to always allow transponder on overlay, right? You're going to turn this on. And then in your SRS overlay, which is here, down here at the bottom where it says transponder, you'll just enter those 4 digits in there. So
Okay.
you do 3-1 and then victory flight, victory position.
Okay.
And then the first one I think is 10.
So
There's
just one point of clarification. So you want us to mark up as victory 1-3, victory 1-4, and not as the modex, so marking moms victory 1-3 instead of marking moms, 103.
No, you'll still use your modex when you check in, because I'll
Gotcha.
be able to see that inside of lot ATC, but proper procedure is that you would squawk modes and codes all the time, unless
Yeah.
you're doing some sort of operation where you didn't want to have your transponder on, because we don't
Yeah.
have full data link replication in DCS. It doesn't serve much purpose to do that for what we do. We don't run actual ENCOM in DCS. It's not.
That's what I figured. I just wanted to make sure there was no confusion.
Yep. Also, very quick comm ladder, just so you're aware of it. When you're on the deck, you will be using the tower frequency to talk to deck boss for getting you to your catapults and then shot off. You'll then remain on that frequency and you will talk to tower. You'll talk to tower until you are switched over to Marshall, at which point you will speak to Marshall and fly away. Once you get out of Mother's airspace, you have no responsibility to go to any other frequency. All other frequencies will be unmonitored and unmanaged. So I will not be up on 288. I won't be on any other frequencies. I will not be closeout tonight. I'm Rough Rider Marshall, and I'm Tower, and I'm Deck Boss. However, you will have paddles functioning on the back end of the tower frequency. So you will have 3 individual stations and 2 controllers on 1 frequency. If you hear somebody coming into land and you hear paddles talking, save your comments until they've either landed or they've gone into the bolter pattern.
Right. So
that's all I have to
for
say.
For the presets, it's going to be deck boss and tower will be button 1 as always. Marshall will be button 3 as always, and then paddles will be on either button 2 or button 4.
So you do want it on a different frequency for paddles? You don't want them on tower frequency?
Yeah, we always do button 2 if we're doing live Marshall and ATC. I'll combine it to button 1 for paddles if I'm doing both jobs. But
okay,
since you're going to be handling that, then I'll put them on either button 2 or 4 for the approach.
So at what point do we switch from tower to paddles if it's on a different frequency?
So you'll be on Marshall. They'll tell you to switch tower, right? You're in the Marshall stack.
Yeah.
And then he tells you so your signals Charlie, switch, button, whatever.
So,
right? So
they should be on Marshall when they are in their stack. When they come to the pattern and we give them signals Charlie, we say signals Charlie switch tower. They would then switch the tower frequency once they have commenced, and they would then call tower 103 initial, which we'd say tower contact, and they'd come in typically the way we've done it with other groups, but we can flux to year. That's fine. Typically, once they hit the beam call, paddles will then say paddles contact and take over the frequency for the remainder of that recovery.
Right.
If we want to run it as different frequencies, we can just say switch paddles button 2, but that seems like a lot to do when you're dirty, slow, and trying to make it into the turn to the groove.
Right. So typically what we've always done is button 3 and 1 is generally what we use, right? But like I said, when we've got it as separate controllers like this, so we're not talking over each other, that's what button 2 is actually for. So why don't we just have everybody, you can tune button 3 on your front radio, that's your Marshall. You'll do everything in Marshall there, and then when he commences you, we'll just push him to paddles, right? And we'll
Okay.
combine paddles and tower.
That's fine. So button 2 once they're on the approach and in the pattern.
Right.
And if they go bolter, do you want them to switch back to tower and I can get them turned downwind and back to you?
Yeah, if they bolter, then talk to Marshall at that point. Just use your front radio at that point.
Yeah,
Okay.
but if we're using 2 frequencies, then we might as well just use 3 in 1 like we always do, no?
So you don't need to stay on the Marshall frequency once you've been approved to go down. Once you're in there, have your radios tuned for tower if you bolter and paddles to talk once you come in on your approach. Tower is there so that you are functioning on a different radio facing a different direction of the boat. And I'll talk with Olds on a back channel to make sure that we deconflict anything.
Right. So again, Marshall's button 3. What are you using for tower, Merlin?
I'm going to use just whatever the default frequency is for Rough Rider Deck Boss.
Okay, so tower's button 1, paddles is button 2.
And
And
I
then you make-
will not monitor. I'll have paddles frequency up, but I'll be a participant, not a acting member.
And then your beam call is on paddles or tower?
No, you'll be on paddles the entire way down once you are
Oh, I see,
commenced.
I
When
see.
we say switch tower, you'll go to button number 2 and talk to paddles all the way through your approach into your recovery. Once you
Got it.
are either on the deck or you have boltered and you've been told to switch tower, then you will go back to tower/deck boss, and I will either direct you back to a catapult off to a specific elevator for parking, or I will tell you to turn downwind when stable, or I will direct your downwind turn. Once I clear you downwind in the bolter pattern, I will tell you to switch paddles button 2.
Okay, thank you.
Make sense? Clear as mud?
Clear's mud.
Cool.
Hey, just
Remember,
quick
when you
little
are
thing.
cleared to commence, you switch to paddles button 2, even though I will still say switch tower. That is a feature for tonight, and tonight only for qualifications.
Quick little thing. All the tower stuff, which is basically going to be only for takeoff and turning downwind, is going to be on the back radio button 1. That's 228.5, not the front radio, which is our AI tower. So make sure you're not trying to switch the front radio to button 1.
You're going to do great.
I have faith in you. You've only got one trap that you need to do, unless you're Bondo.
Is this on Tomcat Alley?
Thumper, can you put it on Tomcat Alley?
Do you have a mission?
Well, we've got the. Is anybody using server 1? No, we can just load the Old's case 1 mission on server 1 then.
All right, I'll let him know.
I don't know if Tomcat Alley has the LSO or not LSO. What's it called? The lot ATC on it anyway.
Bondo is not allowed to have a Rio for calling, right?
Affirm.
Okay, well then I need a pilot for a recall as well.
Thumper, can you get flights, please?
Yeah. Let's go. Victory 1, Tonto, -2 Gringo, -3 Thumper, myself. Victory 2, Dutchy, and -2 is going to be Slaw. And then Victory 3, Agua, and your -2 is Bondo. Questions? Dan Baron, you
Yeah, I
can
still
ride.
need a pilot. Okay.
There we go.
Okay, so did we finish the brief there? I know we got sidetracked with the comms nonsense. So after after your 1 hookup bolter pass, demonstrating you can do the bolter pattern and don't just crash into the drink, you'll do 1 safe trap, at which point you'll go to parking. Everybody knows how to taxi down Cat 1 to Cat 2 and be inside the foul line, right?
No.
Was that no?
Correct.
Okay. Okay, so Bondo, since it's just you, it won't matter because you're just going to go to Cat 1 and hook up.
He should be priority too, right?
Yeah,
He's got to do so many.
You'll be the first one. So then Bondo, you've got to do 10 traps or 3 OKs in a row, whichever comes first. And over the course of your 10 traps, you need to accumulate 26 points without doing an unsafe pass.
Okay.
All right. So server should be up. I'm just getting set up for
Yeah, I'm
hookbook.
actually gonna let's quickly go over parking, just so everybody's on the same
Okay.
path here. You land, you're gonna make this little hook, you're gonna come off right, you're gonna get to the edge of the carrier here, and then you're gonna go all the way down, and then you're gonna park. This is our little 6-pack area. If you are not trying to do something, if you're despawning or anything, or you need fuel, then you are gonna taxi all the way back over here.
That's not where I was putting them.
Are you putting them on the 2?
Yeah. Because we've got how many planes do we have?
Let's see.
6.
We got 6. Yep.
Yeah,
You're
we're
7.
fine with standard parking then. Well, I won't be flying.
I have found success putting people
Uh-huh.
on the nose on elevator 2 because it's less that loads in right as they're coming in on the fantail. And if you have a
That's
critical crash, there's less people that you hit.
right.
Call signs be damned.
Yeah, the issue is going to be whether or not they need to go back up or not. So to start with, probably park in front of the island, and then as people are complete, they can either taxi to catapult 2 and park facing the fantail or despawn.
Yep. This is like your holding area. You're probably gonna ask to do stuff in here.
And we may need somebody to do more traps just to create pattern work for Bondo. So why don't we stick with just hanging out in front of the island for tonight? Okay, so switch this to hookbook and cue card.
Agua, you should switch your name.
Mondo.
You're back,
Yeah.
Anthony.
All right, so I'm gonna stream this because no one's apparently teaching you how to do this. So you have this here.
Yeah.
All right, so essentially how this works is, so you see on here where it says transponder.
Yeah.
Okay, these first 2, I think TCS has to be running because it's not working. But anyways, these 2 will be mode 1.
Okay.
Mode 3, these will be 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So like I said in the chat there, so I think you were victory 2 or something, or 3.
I'm 3, yeah.
Yeah, so it would go 3, 1, 3, 2. That's your moda, or that's your transponder. Make sure when you type that in, you alt tab and you hit ident
Okay.
on the deck.
And when
And
do
then
you start it?
you do it as soon as you get in the jet.
Okay.
So it should look like this. It should be, oh shit. It should be 1, 0, 3, 1, 3, 2. Press ident.
Gotcha. Okay. Perfect.
Toggle M4.
Okay.
So, and that you just do your alt tab. So when you just say toggle, like so in SRS, toggle radio overlay, make sure that's on right now.
It is.
There you go. That's it. I don't know why it's a 45-minute thing, but so,
Cool. All right. Thank you.
yep.
Oh gosh.
server 1 doesn't have LOT ATC functioning, so I will be doing this through DCS.
Oh my goodness. Brutal.
Dang it, I gotta pee. All right. Join blue. Here we go.
And by Shannon, what's up?
Connect air supply. Oh gosh. Doesn't need whistle. Connect air supply.
Chief, connect ground air supply. Copy. Ground air supply is now connected. Okay. You haven't armed your ejection seats, buddy. Chief, turn on the ground power. Closing canopy. Check. Ground power is now on. All right, let's start.
It's definitely me, not you.
Tech BIOS radio check 228.5.
Ready to taxi. Request refueling. Request rearming.
Green jet. Dick boss, 142 rate taxi. Removable checks. Hold please. Okay, real quick, what elevator am I in? Yes, A. Taxi control 4. Remove wheel chocks.
Chief, remove the wheel chocks. Roger that. There is a friendly 100 58 miles, Angels 25. Alrighty. We have a friendly 360, 48 miles, Angels 14.
Marshall, report to marking moms 1 to 130 for 50, Angels 30.
Friendly, raw, 330, 76 miles, Angels 14.
Am I supposed to have paddles in the front wheels too? Okay, so I did that. It just said continue. So just stay on the I guess. Thank you. Correct. Course is 303. Readback is altimeter 3002. Marshall at 2000. just hit 8 now.
Copy. Copy.
Altitude. Hold. Altitude hold.
Friendly, F-14, 11 o'clock, 6 miles.
152 state 7. If we're going to go in for a trap this time. If we're go.
Friendly, F-14, 12 o'clock, 4 miles.
Oh, so I need to be on tower frequency in front.
Boink, boink, bolter!
I think we stepped on each other when we got to this turn down. Right.
Friendlies, F-14, 11 o'clock, 2 miles.
Cut through me. Gotcha. Garage bar, stay 6-1.
Okay, fair, 2-wire. Roger, okay. Copy.
Deck boss will go to taxi, or to catwalk, or elevator.
All right, man. Wilco.
Deck boss 152, landing taxi to catwalk, or elevator. I always need gas.
Roger. All right. Bolter, bolter.
2 horsepower.
Ah, pity. 4-wire. Okay.
Deck boss moving to on the deck. Taxi to parking.
Roger. I'd say that was an okay 3-wire. Good job.
Green deck.
Okay.
Deck boss 152, request taxi.
You got it.
152 going back.
That was a one wire.
Green. Move up to request.
just a bit long, 4-wire.
Get boss, we've got to request taxi, I'm full through the fuel, should I go back to the stack or refuel first? Channel 3 in the front, yeah.
Request refueling. Request rearming. Request rearming. 2 wire.
Green deck. Quest taxi to parking. Let's go.
Only one mass casualty, and the pilot in the Rio got out just fine.
Oh, who died?
We lost a bird.
Wouldn't be a case one night without something catching on fire.
Well, it's not supposed to have been the case one night. It was supposed to be a qual night. So that goes doubly true, I guess.
Yeah, 107 got up to Cat 1. I turn around and I just see black smoke coming across amidships and aft. Turn to my right, and I put a photo of what I saw in the ready room.
I know. Optional flight control. Good job, Bondo, man.
Thank you.
Good to see you. I was horrendous. That.
Don't worry, I had a
If it makes you feel better, you didn't sound that good either.
Thanks. I only woke up 2 minutes before we were supposed to go up, and then I flew off a lead into his commence. Right? I was like, "Hey, I'll swing to your left, so like when you go commence, you know, you can just go." And I'm like, "Oh wait a minute, we're like 7 miles out now. Like this is fucking great."
My requirement to punish you was less than the inconvenience you would have caused if I had gone through with it.
Oh, you were gonna punish me though?
I was going to
Good.
kick you out of the stack and have you come back.
Yeah.
But then
I
that would
could
have
have
been
done
taking
that.
extra long. I know what you could have, but I didn't want
Yeah.
to.
I felt bad. I was like, yeah, I talked to Rubo. I looked out. I'm like, it's like 5 points or 6.7. I'm like, technically, we're fucked. I was so waiting for it. So I was like, what do we do? I'm like, well, I don't know. I don't know what to do.
So you've chosen standoff violation.
Right.
One of these days, I'm gonna put a natural Ticonderoga in the middle of the CSG, and I'm gonna Olympus anybody that breaks my flight rules.
I made it.
Break it down.
Mm-hmm. I'm
Where's
grading,
the other group?
I'm grading our resident
I'll-
ensign at the moment.
Ooh,
I'll go get them.
I was just looking at my pattern, and I think that looked pretty good from above, at least. Not sure about depth-wise.
As long as you only look at it from one angle.
Exactly.
Yeah, you know, because we
It's
live in a
the
one-dimensional world.
50-55 rule. At 50 miles an hour, or 55 miles an hour, 50 feet. Everybody use
Sure.
car and someone says 50-55.
Yeah.
I got a 50-55 car. What do you mean? It looks great at 55 mile an hour and at 50 feet. Any closer or any slower? Yeah. No, just kidding.
Some of the fastest cars I've ever been in are cars like that, though. Like,
Yeah, true. Oh yeah, because they don't care about.
Okay, so we got
Oh yeah, pizza.
4, 2.5, 3, 2, 2.5, 3, 4, 2.5, 2, and a 4. 29.5.
Sweet.
nice.
That's a pass, right?
Okay.
That's a lot.
Yeah, you gotta get 26.
Okay, so could have done better, but still fast.
Well, you got lots of room for improvement, but that doesn't mean that it was garbage.
Sweet.
You had several okay passes. You had several fair passes. You had a lot of bolters. You gotta watch your rate of descent at the end. There was a couple times that you were not enough power, which that could be DLCing too hard or something like that. And
Yeah.
then
Tonight was the first.
several times.
Oh, good.
Several times you were. Oh, actually, I'm wrong on one of these. That's a fair, not an okay, because it was a one wire. So here you were lined up left, a little bit lined up left. Good corrections, not enough power at the end, so it's a one wire. So that's a okay pass, which is 4 points, except for the fact that it's a one wire, which makes it automatically a fair, right? So you lost points there.
Okay.
Which is you lost 1 point, so you got a 28.5 instead of 29. Still passing.
I'm thinking
Yeah,
it's a little
so
late.
we're not gonna tag view debrief this. There's nothing to
Yeah.
debrief. It's just I'm just gonna let you guys know if anybody was grossly unsat, and realistically, aside from Thumper, I expect a lot more from a Rio pilot.
Yeah.
No, Thumper likes sniffing people's bungholes, but beyond that, really, I was pretty happy for the most part. The major thing
Cutting
that I
in and
want.
out.
What?
What?
The major thing that I want to stress to you guys is the professionalism, especially on the radio. When we're trying to recover at the boat and all that stuff for realsies, not just a practice night. We don't want to be showing our butts. And then several people were having issues with their. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Several people are having issues with their comms, so just check your SRS settings. Make sure that you can add like a 200 millisecond delay when you release the button. It keeps transmitting, so you don't clip the end of what you're saying off. And then other than that, the other thing, I want to try and get us back in the habit of we recover on button 2 per SOP, right? That's what button 2 is for the LSO station. But the only comms that should be on that LSO station is people that are actively trapping. So just keep that hierarchy in your mind. Yes, you're in the pattern, in the break, whatever it is you're doing. But if you hear me calling somebody down on the plat cam, I don't care that you're in the break, right? That's not the priority. Cool. Any
Yeah,
questions, concerns,
I have
safety
a
of flight?
question. Just a question.
Uh-huh.
Concerning literally that. So is it then best practice that if you're in a phase of flight where you would be making a call, but let's say you're calling someone in, do we just continue as if just continue, or
Yep.
Okay?
Yeah.
Because
So
that's
for
always
instance,
been a
so
thing.
you say you're a beam and I'm talking to somebody on the plat cam. So you just make your beam turn where you should.
Yep.
Don't delay your flight at all, right? But you make your turn, and then I will see you on the plat cam and say Tomcat in the groove, and then that'll be your opportunity to say 117 Tomcat ball, whatever, right? Or if there's enough spacing between when you're a beam and before you get to the groove, then you can say in the 90 or in the pattern or whatever,
Okay.
to let paddles know if their head's down writing something that, hey, you got another one coming in here.
All right. Copy.
Yeah. Like if they're in the groove, it's basically like it's an emergency and nobody should be talking except for those two guys.
Right. Ideally, the best way that we do this is we have 2 LSOs, one on button 2, one on button 4, and then every other flight gets switched to a different button, right? So every plane that comes down is getting the other LSO, which gives so the guy on button 2 gets a chance to write his card down, and then button 4 is active, and it flips flops. But we don't have enough guys to do that. So, and half the time we don't even have AIC. So then that's where we've gotten into this bad habit where normally we just sit on button 1 and we do everything on button 1. But really, As the LSO, I don't care about anything that you've got going on until your beam and then flat cam. All the stuff that goes on before that is really two pooks. It doesn't matter to me.
Right. Hence why normally there would be a separate, there would be a tower frequency for some stuff like that, right?
Right. Yeah, and I think in the future, if you look at the knee boards, button 2, button 4 are the approach frequencies. So that's the frequencies we should be using for that. I think we should get in the habit of when we commence, right? So we're in the stack on button 3 up front, and then when we commence, we push to 228.5 on the front radio, which we will either have to ham jam or I'll bring this up to command. I think that we should just get rid of the AI preset and do same presets for front and rear for button 1, because you can have gesture tune the AI or whatever if we ever need it.
Yeah, it does a pretty crappy job at doing certain things anyway in that regard.
Right.
The AI.
It's far more important for you to be able to talk to somebody about what's, I need to turn downwind now or whatever, and you don't want to be talking when the LSO is trying to do his thing, right? So that's why we have that on a separate frequency.
Let me give a great example of this from the real world. As someone who is aspiring to be a real life controller, because of the stuff I do here at CSG-3 and 126, I had a simulator event today where I was tasked with getting a hold of Red Crown, checking in with them, doing an ace, following up with them, and then getting a hold of the E2 call sign King on his frequency. However, I was incorrect. And where I thought that I was supposed to be talking to King, our current AI, our current C2 controller, Hawkeye, I was supposed to talk to a completely different agency. Now, while the call I made to King that day was correct and the format of it was good and the comms were clear, it wasn't King's responsibility to handle that information. So it was more than just me making a mistake on my end and not checking in where I needed to. I also took away incredibly critical situational awareness from somebody who was trying to do something different. And I, in that incident, could have endangered somebody else out there who needed to hear the information the king was either trying to process or that he was about to send. And my mistake and me being not careful on the comms of who I needed to talk to and who I didn't need to talk to, and when I didn't need to talk, could have made things significantly worse. Keep that in mind when you are in the stack and you hit that beam position. Just because you're supposed to say a beam does not mean you are more important than the person that's coming in trying to get vectors to land for recovery. Tonight it was case ones and it was clear day. You could do the whole thing VFR. But if somebody was in a case 3 scenario in here and it was much, much worse, and they weren't as familiar with how paddles would talk them down, it could be much worse. So there's a little real life example of why it's important that you practice etiquette on the comms, even if you don't think you're going to take any SA away from other people by what you are doing. Because even you making the correct thing at the wrong time can reduce the SA of somebody who needs to put it somewhere else.
Good
So there you
point,
go.
Merlin. You got anything else for us tonight? You did all of our martial stuff. Was all that up to stuff? Any parting words?
So make sure that you hold your altitudes on your outbound until I give you clearance to climb out, which I did for most of you. If you don't hear anything by the time you have exited Mother's airspace, you can just simply chime in and say, leaving Mother's airspace. And like I did for most of you, I just tell you clear outbound, clear switch. So make sure when you are coming inbound that you are actually inbound to Mother. There was 2 flights today that were going the clearly wrong direction when they did their check-in. So make sure when you're flowing into Mother, you're actually flowing into Mother, because if you go out of my airspace, you have to check all the way back in. And make sure you don't come into my airspace as Marshal unless you have checked in with me or you're in the process of checking in. That's all I have from my end. Outside of that, recovery, pattern, stack work was fine. I have no issue with any of it.
Question, Merlin. Oh,
The
sorry.
on the departure, I don't know if probably everybody didn't hear this because several of you were already in the air. But when you take off from the catapult, that's the most dangerous point in in your flight is when you're trying to make your airplane fly. So I don't want to see people doing snap turns off the catapult. You take off, you get good control of the aircraft, and then it's just an easy 30-degree turn or 30-degree angle bank left to 20 degrees offset, and then 30-degree angle bank right back to BRC, right?
I hear you. I know you're talking to me.
Well, I'm talking to everybody. There was at least 5 people that did that. Now, in this instance, where we're light and tons of air density, no problem. But if it was 28 inches of mercury and you were loaded with bombs, that would potentially cause a wing stall, right? And then throw IMC conditions on top of that, and you can't see where you're going. You don't realize that you're sinking. So it's super important to make sure that the plane's flying, and then 30 degrees angle bank, 20 degrees offset, and then back the other way.
It's like a muscle memory thing for the timing, for the most part. Like
I basically count a half second to where I know that I'm positive ready. When I see the needle pop up to positive rate of climb, that's when I start my turn.
okay, yeah, I just was thinking because like there's definitely some the forces we don't get.
Absolutely. Yeah. The mod, the what is it? Real something or other, DCS realistic, gives me air sounds for when I'm in flight versus when I'm about to crash, so I can tell from the sound.
Oh,
But
cool.
the needle is for sure. If you have it on takeoff mode, as soon as you see that thing pop high and you know that you're in a climb, start your bank.
All right.
Yeah, and I'm not saying like drive and miss Daisy with it, but it's not a snap roll.
All right, well, thank you, Marlon. I appreciate you doing all this for us.
I'm glad to help out where I can. I'm sorry I kicked you out of my airspace.
No, you're good. That was 100% what you should have done. I appreciate it.
I think he wanted to see if you were really going to do it.
I liked the stern tone too. I heard that call.
Yep, 100%. All right.
Marlon, I
let's
have a
run the
question.
list.
Were we supposed to collapse ourselves, or were we supposed to stay at 6 or
Nope.
whatever altitude we were assigned?
You were
and
to
then...
stay at the altitude I gave you until I gave you otherwise, because that also helped me know where you were at in the pattern. And the only person I cleared below anybody else was Gringo, and I cleared him down to Angels 2 because Baron came in right off the rip, and Bondo came in right at Angels 2, and I was able to tell who was coming up next because of where you were at in the stack.
Okay, we just had a question about that because I thought I heard something different in the brief, but
yeah, what I'd said in the brief was if there is going to be a change in altitude, I will give it to you directly.
Got it.
So
and you didn't receive it.
So it didn't.
We stayed at our altitude.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So like, obviously, it was the same as normal, mostly normal for me because of the Angels 2. But let's say I was at Angels 4. Would you have just given the commence call and I commenced from Angels 4? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, you always would commence from Angels 4. You descend to your proper altitude when you reached your teardrop, and you descend down when you come out to come in on the initial. That's where your descent would happen.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
that's not what he's asking. He's saying that the bottom stack altitude is 2,000 feet, and people have gotten used to always making their Charlie commencement from 2,000 feet. But the statement is, what is the highest altitude that you can accept a Charlie commencement from? And that's 8,000 feet.
Well, there you go. There's your answer.
Okay, so yeah, that answered my question. Thank you very much.
All right, let's run the list. Let's try and get out of here. Bondo, what'd you learn?
How to properly use DLC. And by properly, I mean it was rough, but I did start implementing it in my traps.
Good. 2.7 average isn't that good, but you can get better. 2.8. Yes, sir. Old. How about you?
Fire hose. Drinking from the fire hose. Yep.
Yeah,
I got
that's
bit
an
by a dog today
interesting,
too.
Interesting change. I think a lot of us weren't aware of the Radio 2 being for LSO. I think we need to practice that a lot more. Baron, how about you?
My SRS updated because it starts messing with everything. Pay attention to altitude more. and yell at my pilot.
Yes, 100%. Yeah, especially if it's me, just yell at me. If you see some shit out of spec, immediately yell. 100%. Not even
Baron,
joking.
Baron, I have one more directed learning point for you this evening. I need you to take away something from tonight, and specifically, I need you to take away something you do. 100.
Yeah, yeah.
Calm it
You've
down.
really
It was.
got to stop doing that because I
we
will
think
shoot
this
you
was
out
an
of. I will
SRS
shoot
thing.
you out of the sky.
We
Yeah,
think it was an
so-
SRS thing.
Have you
Let's
heard me
continue
doing
on the
other
list.
nights?
Dash cam.
Yes, I have. Baron, you are. I
Okay.
know it's you because I hear you go. 100. Yeah. Blah, 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 blah.
I got it.
Let's
Thank you.
continue down the list.
Uh,
Dash cam. What'd you learn?
Re on the back seat for case 1 is just staying diligent on the instruments and just making sure we're hitting all of our numbers and being that second set of eyes. Yeah, I guess the spin, I got to really lock the spin in just because there's not many times that we've done that. So I was kind of questioning going into it at first. I was like, oh shit, wait, what are the right numbers? But we got it figured out. So after Olds gave us a little sugar call on that, thank you. But yeah.
Yeah, for me, the spin was just a wild, little stay within 3 DME. Is that what it was for you?
Yep.
Okay. Just
Yep.
making sure I'm tracking.
At
Dutchman,
1,200
how about
feet.
you? Yep, 1,200. Yep.
Yeah, and on the spin, particularly, Merlin and I talked about that. He's gonna talk with Saber and see if we can't get some other nomenclature because he thinks that it's actually a 5 DME turn, not an 8, not a 3, which would make that a lot easier turn.
So no, from my understanding, you fly the exact same as the case 1 pattern. You just instead of flying at the minimum of Angels 2, you fly it at 1.2 thousand.
Yeah, which is a 5 DME turn.
Yeah, it is a the way that we have spin is that you go back to the case 1 pattern at 1,200 feet.
Right. Yeah. So that's what I just said.
Yeah.
5 DME turn.
Yeah, that whatever you want to call it.
Interesting. We need more documentation on it. Dutch can. Dutchman. What did you learn?
It's like we are.
I learned that if you call for mother in the middle of a turn, they might get mad at you. But other than that, it was just nice case 1 practice and getting used to doing it with a more permanent backseater.
Good. Gringo, how about you?
Yeah, the spin part was like doing the spin procedure. Not really something I've done before. I do think possibly extending it out a little bit because it was somewhat of a dramatic turn. It felt like, yeah, to the point where it was like really easy to over or undercook it. Then good case 1 practice. I definitely overcompensated to a correction from my first pass and came in too high on the second, so it was kind of ugly. But I think by the third it was a decent pass. So
yeah, I like doing case 1 passes just because I don't do it as much as I should. So getting in the jet tonight, I realized I was trying to steer myself when I was at that 90-degree turn too much. One of my last paths is I was great on the ball because I literally I set like a 35-degree turn and I just held it and I was like, you know what, I'm just not going to correct it. And I was like half a cent to the right of the carrier when I lined up and I was like, wow, I've been fucking myself. So yeah. Great practice. Hush, how about you?
Learned what happens when you commence Angel 6. And then other than that, it was mostly just me talking on the radio. And then talking to myself in the case of Texaco.
So I guess, Merlin, this is a question, right? When you commence from a high altitude, do you not want to hit the 1,200 feet initial on the commence, and then you just want to hit the 800 feet, 3 mile initial on the back of the boat?
I'm gonna need a picture.
So if you're commencing from a higher altitude,
I'm sorry. Let me grab my chart really quick.
right? You're on your bearing line, right? For where you rolled wings level, you descend, right? There's nothing that says you need to wing sweep 350 and 800 feet all simultaneously, right? So I would focus on doing those one step at a time you should have plenty of time before you hit 7 miles where you can start your turn to get down to altitude and then get configured for 350 knots and wing sweep, right?
Okay, so we're still trying to hit that 1,200 feet by 7 miles.
So the only thing I have for the
Yes.
commenced flight plan from my documentation is that when you hit position 3, you'll increase your speed to greater than 350 knots, descend down to above 800 feet, and at 7 DME, you'll start your left-hand bank to the 3 nautical mile initial.
Right. Yeah, if you're 5 miles behind the boat and not and pulling around to initial and you're at 1,500 feet, as long as you get to 800 feet by you get to initial, it's still technically valid, right?
Okay, yeah, I think there's a safety of flight kind of thing happening with that descent.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
you can extend the descent out into the turn if you need to.
Yep. Okay.
yeah,
Good.
that's more reasonable.
It is. Yep.
Again, it's
Ruba, how
also a
about you?
visual pattern, so you have a little bit of leniency in how you finagle it down, but you just have to be at 800 feet at the 3 nautical mile initial and on BRC.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah, start at position X, end up at position Y, and don't fly outside of 10 miles, right?
Ruba?
Just be sure not to start your descent before position 3.
Yeah, because that's how you smack into people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good night doing case 1. Appreciate the time. Got to work on some comms and refreshing my brain with the spin pattern.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah, the spin pattern is gonna be a nice little feather in our hat when we run into stuff and it's like everything's congested. I mean, we actually used it multiple times tonight where it's like, there's too much going on. I need this person to spin so I have time to deal with these other guys first.
All right, Sig, how about you?
Yeah, I think tonight was probably the first time I've ever actually had to do a spin in the jet, so that was interesting to see. Other than that, Dutch already said it. Don't call Marshall when you're inbound if you're not facing the carrier. I put our flight in a hold right at the edge of Marshall's airspace, and I was worried about busting it before we called. So I should have just had us hold further out, so that wouldn't have been an issue.
Proud of you.
Are you still 102? Did I miss a marriage? Is there a marriage happening?
So it's complicated. I gotta file
Okay.
some divorce paperwork. We're engaged. Yeah, I'll DM you about it.
All right, let me know.
What a
So,
Slaw, how about you?
Are you saying that like sloppy seconds level or what?
Oh Lord.
All right, let's keep it, guys. Come on, let's finish this
Let's get
debrief.
through the list.
Yeah, the
Slaw,
spin,
how about you?
Yeah, the spin pattern. And just working with a Rio, there was a lot of times where we were just stepping on each other, and so just working with a real Rio on the back is always interesting to me. So I always usually deal with gestures. So just he's like, "Hey, my radio," and I pretty much had to tell him like, "If I touch your radio, you freaking tell me." So then that's just part of crew contract, you know.
Yeah, we touched on comm brevity all of tonight with the when paddles calls someone down. If you hear a tomcat ball or call the ball, you immediately shut up, right? Everybody knows that. I also wanted to touch it here, Slaw. I am calling you out specifically for one thing. When you realized that you were not going to be able to make the pass, and you said, "Hey, I need to go around," right? You called it. You called the wave off. Good. But you also added a lot of words after that, which kind of muddied the comms up because two other people immediately tried to talk after you. So just make sure if you're waving it off, you don't have to give us a reason. Just say, "Hey, waving off." There we go. And that keeps the comms down to a minimum. Just a little less things for people to think about. Other than that, great night. I saw you going up for multiple passes. It was really cool. Saw a lot of people going up for multiple passes. I was happy about that. Tonto, how about you?
Kind of same thing. Commencing from a higher altitude. That was interesting, but I think we were overly worried about it in the beginning, and then in my brain I had worked it out. Well, we have plenty of time to get down, so it's a non-issue for those who haven't done it.
Yep. Yep. I think it's also going to be a little feather in our hat, like Wold said about the spin pattern, just commencing from different altitudes. I think it'll be nice. With that, training is over. Good job, guys. I don't have anything to say. I learned a lot of shit. I haven't done case one pattern for a while, so getting back in the jet in a pilot role was that was some. Baron will tell you I was not the best, but with that, training's over. Let the debauchery begin.
And yay for Bondo getting CQ, right?
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Yay.
Yeah, great job.
I think I
Yay.
might be LTJG now.
Yeah,
Don't push
sure.
it, kid.
Yeah.
Alright, I gotta dip. See you guys
So
later.
so
Later,
all right,
dudes.
because
I'll swap.
because
job, guys.
because he commented on it,
Gotta go too.
we're
See
gonna
you guys.
we're gonna have
Good
to
night,
give
everyone.
him the Snacko tag, but somebody can go ahead and pimp him to LTJG.
Well,
Is
yeah,
he?
you're
Is he?
yeah, you're the newest. If you're the newest Lieutenant JG, you become the default Snacko, the snack officer.
Didn't we give our Snacko to someone else? Like they're not even.
Buck's got Snacko
I
right
was
now.
Snacko, and then it was Buck.
Right,
Yeah.
and now
Bug is
newest
Snacko?
LTG. Yeah.
Well,
And
Buck is not here to be
No.
Snacko at the moment,
Well,
so
hold
No.
on. Hold on. Well,
or
let's
we
wait
can
a little bit
give
for that Snacko tag.
Baron Bondo double Snacko.
Double Snacko.
double Snacko.
Snacko squared.
Snacko, yeah, Snacko times 2.
I gotta
I,
dip.
Congrats for the upgrade.
I'll catch you guys later. But yeah,
Later, dude.
Thumper, I think that Sig is jumping ship for a while.
That's valid. Yeah, valid. Hit me up when shit changes. Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, I don't know. I'm pretty sure he's gonna hit you up because he's got to change his number and whatever. I gotta do nothing.
Yeah. True.
All right, night guys, have a good one.
Later,
Dude,
man.
Oh, wait, is he talking about like a real world thing, or was he talking about divorcing Crunch?
Crunch.
Divorce
Yeah.
Crunch.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
All right, guys, I gotta go too.
Making
Have a good night.
sure,
Later,
See
man.
Tonto.
because I wasn't trying to be flippant about somebody's actual real world divorce.
Because we have had that in the past.
Yeah, that's not funny. Sorry.
I think we've had a few.
wait a
I
minute.
don't know.
People come here married and then literally get divorced in real. What?
Well, yeah. I mean, it wasn't married like as in Rio and Pilot, but they were
Yeah,
married.
DCS is great, man.
Boy.
Number one cause of divorces.
If that's
Oh
this
man,
group,
I love
I'm
the
gonna
group.
have
It's great.
to see myself out. Girlfriend, I had that happen with a
Night, guys.
girlfriend. I had that
Later,
happen.
man.
So.
See, brother.
So this means I'm out of the creamsicle, right?
Yes.
Correct.
You get a
You're
line
in.
jet.
Well, no, he doesn't
Not
get
a
a
line jet.
No.
He gets the default, like the non. Yeah.
There's there's an LTJG jet. Yeah.
Oh,
so
okay. There wasn't.
yeah, so you get a gray jet. It doesn't have bones and it doesn't have the special pods
Okay.
or something. So
You'll be fine. It looks exactly like everything else. You don't even notice the difference.
The important part is getting it out of the creamsicle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it didn't say FNG on the nose, I would be fine with it because I actually like the creamsicle colors. But
Yeah. Honestly, yeah, I like the paint scheme itself. It's not bad.
yeah,
it's well done.
It does make you pop in pictures. Like you're definitely noticeable in any pictures taken. Like
for the reason that the 3 letters are on the front too.
Yeah, I got yelled at work because we hired a new guy, and I said, "Oh no, fucking FNG." What the hell does that mean? I said, "Fucking new guy." Don't say that about someone. Okay.
yeah,
Hurt
you
feelings
potty mouth,
reports.
potty.
Yeah.
Hurt feelings report.
I told my boss that.
You should print some of those out and just start handing
I have them. I have them printed out. Old snow joke.
Oh, Thumper.
Oops.
Last or on Tuesday, we did the air-to-air, and I didn't get any sign-offs.
Did you ask for them ahead of time?
I did.
Okay. Thumper?
Happy where it didn't happen.
Was it my fault?
Is Bondo good for air-to-air sign-offs?
Did he? Let me see the tag. Let me see the tag here.
Do you have it?
Tag time. I believe I should have it. Thank you, time.
I don't think
28
I'll have
something.
Yeah, 28.
What did we do? Oh,
Yeah,
this is
we
our AIC night?
Yeah.
You tanked?
we didn't do any tag form stuff, right?
No, we didn't do tack form, but we did like grinder and aim 54s.
Yep. Yeah,
Was
well,
that
And
that
what
was when
sign-off
we
did
had
you want?
you told us we all got the AIC brevity?
Yeah.
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 What's on Tuesday? Does we kind of have an idea for that yet, or no?
Okay, hold on. Bondo, what are you talking about? What sign-off did you want?
So aim 54s, whatever I can get from the tack view.
Got it. So that was different. This was showing that you proficiency in it. Since you're starting from an ensign position, get with me, and I want to make sure you know all of it, not just how to fire it.
Okay.
Okay. So we
Yeah,
go through a
this
little
is
bit more of just, hey, this is how to fire it. We go through niches of these are the different modes and all that stuff, so you know a lot about it. Okay.
Yeah, that's fair.
So get with me. Send me messages to sometimes, and we'll knock that down. Sorry, Slaw. What was the question?
What are we doing Tuesday?
Okay, for everybody here, we have
Uh-huh.
transitioned our Google Calendar into DeckBoss. So all of those will now be in DeckBoss, and the person who will know that specifically is now Dashcam because he's in control of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love the way you
Okay.
did that.
All right.
You
Hold
just
on.
put
Hold
that
on.
in.
So,
Wait
all right.
till give away
It
the
doesn't
shit
matter. It doesn't matter what we're doing. I just would like to be put in element lead, flight leads positions as much as possible. That's what I'm asking.
Okay.
Yeah, you can fly with me and be element lead. That's fine.
Okay. The reason I'm asking is not for like I want to fly on autopilot. It's because I just started doing the division lead stuff.
No, it's definitely because you want to fly on autopilot.
There is that too. No, I'm just kidding. But really, no, it's just so I can start tactically flying. Like
I don't know. Sometimes if you do a flight lead position for long enough, you lose the ability to do formation. It's rough.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I do a lot of that. I actually thought the formation flying I did with 113 was good. I forget his name, but
Dutchy.
Yeah, there you go. So I don't know. Maybe I didn't do good, but yeah, tonight was rough. Oh man. But
Thumper, I
I
sent
got,
you the
sorry.
two other sign-offs I was seeing if I can get.
So
it's the exact same thing.
Yeah,
So
just
all
keep
of
in mind
these
with
are-
this is refresher training for people that already have that sign off to make sure that they're ready to go for deployment. There's things that when we sign this off for the first time that there's questions that we want to ask. It's a one-on-one training course intentionally, right? The what we're doing for the deployment workups is, all right, you already know this stuff. Here's the high points. Go do it. Prove it to me. So